Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Recording has started.
Oh, vast be hardness, and welcome once again to Full Stream Ahead. I be your captain. No, I be your captain. But I am Charlie, the Puppet Professor. And with me as always is Phil, podcast Perich, and Demon Wine. Enough of that. All right, and we also have a special guest, Dianne from the Real Housewives.
You thought we were missing, but there's at least half of us here tonight, so...
That's right. So yes, kids. Yeah, probably last week you heard Full Stream Ahead 199. I did a review of the season 3 of What If, but this time, yes, for episode 200. And I know first Charlie and Moz, and then Lilith and Moz were doing reviews of newer stuff. But for episode 200, we're going to do a review of Superman 3 to honor Charlie on the anniversary. Well, his birthday, which would have been his birthday month, January. So. And he loved this movie. And not only did he love this movie, I found out he passed the same weekend that this came out in 1983?
Yep.
Yes. So, can't say the man didn't know
how to leave on an exit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
All right.
200 is a nice round number.
Yeah.
Took a while, but we got there.
Well, I think we can be excused for that.
Yes.
All right, so yes, like I said, Superman 3 from 1983. Oh, you know what I started after I watched this today, and then I haven't finished it yet, but that Christopher Reeve documentary that just came out not too long ago.
Oh, yeah, so good.
I was curious about that.
For what I've seen so far, it was good. I mean, it went into his accident and everything, but they kept like going through like his time, when he started doing the movies and stuff. And
is that another Netflix show?
No, it's on Max.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
For all like 10 of us that have that.
Yeah.
Hey man, I just subscribed to HBO and I get it with it. So. All right, so yeah, Superman 3, Charlie's favorite. I swear it's just because of the Richard Pryor. That's the only reason. I swear he probably his favorite movie.
Like this plot has potential, but it's just the way that it's done, why it was done, pisses me off. Like if this was like I was telling Dianne, if this was actually Gene Hackman and Richard Pryor, this would probably literally be my favorite Superman movie. So
yeah. I mean, why?
This feels like a Lex Luthor plot. So.
Yeah, almost. And again, it's just like, why wasn't Gene Hackman in it?
Well, he left because of how they treated Richard Donner. Same thing with Margot Kidder. Remember, they kicked Donner off at 2 because he wanted to do all 4 movies. Like this was basically his outline, and they kind of like I feel like he doesn't get a lot of credit for that, and he ended up not obviously working on 4 either, but. I mean, once you work for Warner Brothers and they piss you off as a director, it takes a while to come home. So. And it's kind of a theme for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and I think they even said in that documentary. I mean, Christopher Reeve kind of had to do this. He was contractually obligated.
Yeah, he was contractually obligated. Yeah. And then they also kind of acquiesced, and that's how come he had pretty much full control over 4. So there's a lot of like negotiation behind the scenes around this particular thing. So
Lilith was telling me that he really actually hated this movie.
Yeah,
so
he hated it. And notoriously hated this movie. And I said, I was like thinking about like why Charlie would like this movie outside of Richard Pryor. This feels more like a Marvel plot out of a comic book than it does DC. Like this is like the most Marvel movie DC has ever done, in my personal opinion.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
I don't know.
that-
Wonder Woman
one thing.
2 was. A
Well, no,
pretty
that's
Marvel
just
movie.
terrible. That's got nothing to do with being Marvel style. That's just terrible. What I mean is, it feels very Kingpin, or not Kingpin. It feels very Otto Octavius robbing a bank in the most high tech way he knows how to. Kind of thing. So I totally get why Charlie likes it, like from his perspective, but I hate this movie.
So that was going to be my lead-in question, actually, or my capper question. I couldn't quite decide, but why did Charlie love this movie? And now you guys have answered it for me.
Yeah.
It's telling.
It's a fun movie. Like you said, you think like the first two movies kind of take themselves a little more seriously.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a plus for me. But
Yes.
like, you know, I get it. It's quirky. It's funny. I do like the plot. I just don't like the execution.
And again, too, I mean, it's 83, so it's comic book movies still aren't taken completely seriously, and
And this is crazy. Like, so the budget was like 39 million, and a third movie made double its money back. So it was still popular franchise comparatively for for that time. So, I mean, people were watching it.
I was going to ask that. I'm glad that you brought that up. I was wondering if it made its money back or not.
Oh, yeah.
And then some. Well, I've got to tell you guys, one of the things that killed me, like, right off the bat was just the casual misogyny in this movie.
Well, it was the 80s, my friend.
I know. And I just recently rewatched Die Hard, because it's a Christmas movie, right? And just the casual misogyny in that movie as well. It was the 80s.
oh yeah. But can I just say, this whole mess of a movie could have been avoided if Gus Gorman just could have gotten more unemployment. That's all.
Hello? Universal basic income? Hello? Socialism is good sometimes.
The woman at this unemployment office could have just averted this whole thing if she had just given him an extension. That's
$85,000. Like, really?
I know. What's that? What's that like in today's money? Like $500 or something?
What, we have rubles now?
Pretty soon. Give it like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like that Christopher Reeve documentary. They were talking about the first movie, and I forget what it made. Did it make like almost like $500,000 or something? And I was like, that was in 1978 money. That was probably like $1 billion.
Bro, that would be like over $250,000 today, though, low key. Like, that's so sad.
I know.
I gotta tell you guys oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, one of the other things that really hit me was that both Margot Kidder and Chris Reeve are gone.
Yeah.
Which is super sad.
I mean, they were pretty old when it came out, though. And like I said, he was old when I was a kid. But like, yeah, it was really sad. Like his accident, and then like when he passed away and stuff, it was just like just hit me.
Yeah. And then I read that her death was actually an overdose. They decided it was an overdose, a suicide.
Yeah, she had her problems, her issues.
Yeah.
Even during the filming of these movies, actually, kind of notoriously, kind of an open secret. But, sometimes you just don't get over your issues, unfortunately.
Yeah. She was bipolar.
Yeah.
And then that documentary, one of Christopher Reeve's friends, she's like, oh, I wish, I should have went for the part of Lois. It was Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That would have been interesting.
I have a hard time picturing Susan Sarandon as
Lois
Lane.
The only good thing that comes out of this movie is Annette O'Toole and my fascination for redheads. I'm pretty sure this is where it started. I'm pretty sure.
You know what I remember her from? I remember her from Cat People. Do you remember that movie? Obviously, Phil does. He's snickering.
No, I love Annette O'Toole, too. I mean, it's...
Cat People? What is that?
Are you serious?
Oh, I'm looking. I'm seeing. Oh, my.
Malcolm McDowell and David Bowie. Well, David Bowie did the music.
Oh, my gosh. We have to review this.
It probably didn't hold up well either, but
If we do, we have to get Diane and Marnell on here.
Yes, that is a requirement.
But no, I mean, maybe it was just like the script for this thing. I mean, there was a good cast. Annette O'Toole, Robert Vaughn. I love Robert Vaughn as a villain.
Yes.
Ross Webster.
Who was the woman who played his sister?
Oh, was that?
Did she have anything in her?
Oh, who
Was
was
that?
that?
Was that Annie Ross or
Yeah,
whatever?
it was Annie Ross.
Yeah.
She was more like a jazz singer or something, if I remember right.
Oh,
I don't even know why she's here.
She was probably
Meanwhile,
asking
Pamela
herself the same thing.
Stevenson, I love that for us. She plays Lorelai, Ambrosia.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then Mark McClure. Oh my gosh, it's Jimmy Olsen. I get a kick out of it every time. So.
He didn't seem to have grown much beyond the first two movies.
Well, it's Jimmy Olsen. He's not supposed to.
Right.
But that's first he was just weird in Metropolis. Everyone's just like tripping over each other and.
Oof. Yeah, I mean.
They were definitely going for more comedy in this one.
Yes.
Too much comedy. Well, I mean, it's Richard Pryor, so you kind of want to do that.
I mean, the Richard Pryor stuff I get, but it's like he's not even in the scene, and they're doing all this, all the weird stuff.
But also, you have to think about this too. No tea, no shade. Richard Lester is British. Like, what the fuck are you doing directing a Superman movie? That's quintessential Americana. I think that's also a thing that kind of pulls this movie down for me.
Oh.
I do not like my extraordinary gentleman. I like my Superman.
And then it's just the first save, like the guy runs over the fire hydrant and the car starts filling with water. I'm like, no one thinks that they can't get the door open. They don't think to break the window or anything.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I was like,
also, you have to think about all the other movies that the writers wrote. And it's like Bonnie and Clyde and like Sheena and stuff like that. Like, it just always kind of like this movie stands out in their repertoire to me, at least.
As
they didn't have a lot going for it
in the repertoire.
Didn't have a lot going for it, so.
oh my lord! And just like again reminding us how old this movie is. Those computers. I mean, do you see the size of those computers?
Computers.
Computer.
And like the great big giant computer to end all computers. That was hilarious. They had to build it in the Grand Canyon.
The original
I was gonna say it's like that's like our version of a quantum computer at this point now.
The original AI.
Seriously.
Or like the one in Smallville. You have to insert both keys at the same as plastic.
Oh, yikes. I like the return to, like I said, I like a lot of things from the script, mostly because this is what they stole from Donner. But I do like the idea of him going back to Smallville because we kind of really didn't get that in either of the other movies, and it's like a class reunion. I mean, how relatable is that, right? You reconnect, you rekindling. I like that part of it.
And apparently it was great fodder for the Metropolitan newspaper because Lois was quite taken with Clark's article about it, so...
All the way down there in Bermuda with her 12 lines. Literally
right.
12 lines.
Her tiny bikini.
I knew
Punishment
something...
also from the director, by the way.
Oh, what?
12 lines of the tiny bikini.
Both.
Oh, jeez.
You know how actors and actresses, when they have to be in like a bikini or anything, they like starve themselves. It's terrible. So yeah, it was a little bit of punishment as well.
She did not look good. It's interesting that you say that. I was thinking that she didn't look as good as she looked in the first two films.
Yeah.
Could just be as there are problems with substance abuse and stuff too.
Yeah, hard to say.
God, like the Webster people just get on my nerves so bad.
I know. I was like, every time I see this, I'm like, was that supposed to be Lex?
Like I said, this is was very much a Lex Luthor plot.
Mm.
But Gene Hackman just was like, no, count me out. And Gene Hackman could have probably elevated this a little bit more. I said, him and Richard Pryor, like, I want to live in the Mandela affected world where that actually happened so bad. I feel like that's like probably the brightest timeline ever instead of what we got right now.
We do have to admit, though, Lorelai and the Dark Superman getting it on.
A little hot. It's a little hot. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh my!
I mean, he was.
That's one thing Christopher
totally
Lee definitely didn't complain about.
Well, that was my other question. Is once that we get the whole thing in the junkyard with him coming back to normal, and then he flies to her. I'm like, okay, so he knows she's at least part of it because she's the one who told him to stop the oil tanker.
It's the LL Lorelai. He cannot resist it.
She's a psychic nutritionist.
Exactly.
I think that's how Webster introduced her. He's like, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, I do like some of these quotes from the movie. I think my favorite one is because this is what I kind of tell my underlings sometimes. It's like, insert Superman here or kill. I ask you to kill Superman, and you're telling me you couldn't even do that one simple thing.
When you say underlings, do you mean your workers or your dating
It
life?
doesn't matter. Yes. Slave driver on all fronts, Phil. Sorry.
I know. I've heard the stories. But yeah, no.
It's like poor man's Bizarro,
Yeah. Well, he's his own worst. You're always your own worst Bizarro. But no, I was saying like I don't know. Did he figure out that Webster and his sister were behind it, or was he followed the he went back to Lorelai and they left him a message? Oh, here, come get us at the Grand Canyon. I'm like, idiots.
A villain's gonna villain monologue, written or otherwise.
And I love Gus. I mean, I know people have like natural talents, but yeah, I've never had any formal computer training, pretty much. But here, I can build this massive.
Also synthesize some kryptonite while
the tar kryptonite. Yeah.
It was the tar that turned Superman dark. You know it.
Oh my lord! Now, can you imagine?
Why you shouldn't smoke? It's all in your lungs. That's what's in your lungs.
Exactly.
Can you imagine? I didn't kill him, Mr. Webster, but he might get emphysema in like 20 years.
It reminded me of that Star Trek episode. I'm just like, oh god, not the one where Tarsha Yar dies. I can't.
Oh my god, Denise Crosby. Did you see she lost her house? I think in the LA fires.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my lord! But back to the beginning when Richard Pryor's in the unemployment office and he asked the guy for like a match to light his cigarette. Did you see? And he sees the ad for the computer class or whatever. Did you see the phone number?
Uh-uh.
It was Metropolis 123-456-78.
Oh my gosh!
It's not like we can use real phone numbers because
I know, but I thought they usually use
They
a
didn't even
555.
try.
I thought they use a 555 or something.
Well, that thing didn't you start using that until the 90s? I want to say.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that tracks. A little lazy, but it tracks. Everybody can't have 420-69-69,
Just gave your phone number out.
Shh. I didn't say what zip code. Area code.
666. But no, I think like the two best scenes I thought were the fire at the chemical plant or whatever, and then the junkyard scene, of course.
Well, junkyard scene, obviously, but also I like Perry White and Jimmy Olsen where he's giving them the speech and Jimmy's like lipping it. He's like, a photographer eats with his camera, a photographer sleeps with his camera.
I'm glad I'm a writer.
Yeah, that was funny. That was very funny.
I love every version of Perry White. Like, you just... They never give Perry White enough to do. I think, and you have to do small portions, but I love every single live-action Perry White we've ever had. It's the one thing they don't mess up, honestly.
My favorite really was him flying into Lorelai and being like, "Hey, baby." I couldn't believe it. To see Christopher Reeve to see Superman doing that.
On top of the Statue of Liberty.
It was like practically pornographic.
Let freedom ring.
Oh! Rang her bell. I know, that's like what he...
Unlike Batman.
Oh!
That is a joke because, like, it's allegedly canon that Batman doesn't go down. The writers actually said that, and I'm just like, and he's not a villain? Are we sure?
Which led to the famous Little Hellfire quote, Bruce Wayne is a pillow princess.
Definitely.
Oh my god, that is
he's a billionaire. Funny. Of course he's a pillow princess.
Oh my lord.
Oh, I also like when Ricky gets saved from that combined harvester accident with that picnic with Lana. I'm just like, this is so Kansas.
When he's eating the dog food, yeah.
What was that? I was like, I feel like that's a fetish that I'm just not aware of. And also, the satellite was Vulcan.
Yeah.
I'm just like, Paramount's gonna want some money, bud.
And just the power of that thing. I mean, it can make like...
That's a weather satellite, and I'm just like, oh, ARPA confirmed. Cool.
Well, yeah, it can make weather. It can scan like all the way to Krypton to try to figure out what makes up kryptonite.
See, Marjorie Taylor Greene was right.
Oh!
No, you take that back. Somebody's going to take that out of context.
But I will make
that out immediately.
Blackmail.
Spider senses are tingling. Somebody said I was right.
Because was that a government satellite or something there? Just like, yeah, it makes weather. It can scan all the way to Krypton.
I think it was supposed to be.
It's to destroy the coffee crops. Like, the villain is a coffee company guy. Like, you want me to take this seriously? Like, yes, they destroy the environment. I get it, but that's not the point that they were trying to make.
Well, I thought he was into many things. Coffee was just one of them. I love the line.
His main thing, like all his competition. He was trying to destroy all his coffee competition. I'm just like, Starbucks confirmed.
Well, remember the last time we got together, Dr. Evil and Starbucks, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
Like I said, I've never seen the appeal of it.
But I love the line. Yeah. Colombia has two big exports. Coffee is the one of them.
Well, technically it's 3, but most people don't know about the third one.
Everyone loves cocaine.
Scopamine. It's not my business. Also, the acts of vandalism because he's straightening the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
And unless there's stuff we didn't see, it's like, yeah, every country in the world's basically, it's basically censuring Superman for, one act of vandalism. I'm like, okay.
I mean, honestly, anything, because you have to think, it's the most powerful being on our planet, and he's showing tendencies of not really being here for our best interest anymore. So I totally get that. I mean, the script doesn't really explain it too well, but I totally get that when you think about it within context.
I mean, can you imagine that plot twist if we had Gene Hackman? Superman goes bad. Wouldn't at least someone...
I was right. Told you.
Wouldn't someone at the United Nations, even Russia or something, be like, well, let's get Lex Luthor on the phone, take care of this guy?
I mean, that comes next in the next movie.
Oh, when he wanted to rid the world of nuclear weapons. Yeah, someone was like, yeah, no, that ain't happening.
I did think that the ending with him going back and re-leaning the Leaning Tower of Pisa was an appropriate ending. It was a nice little tie-up to the film.
I just love he cleaning up his oil spill. He could just blow oil.
Unlike oil companies who never do that.
I know, but I'd love you could just blow oil back into there and let's use heat vision to seal up the side of the ship. Yeah, because let's heat up oil. That's gonna turn out well.
They travel reverse around the world to turn back time. This whole universe don't make no damn sense. This is the least things that I'm worried about within this universe.
Oh, that's right. This is the universe
if I could turn back time.
This is the universe of cellophane as shields. I forgot.
Exact. Oh my God. Yes. Even Christopher Reeves was like, "What the hell was that?"
while we're on the subject of the improbable, I really thought the whole blowing onto the pond, making the big sheet of ice, and then having it come down as little flakes of ice to cool off the acid. Bravo.
That was like some Superman New Adventures of like Lois and Clark when he lost his powers. Like it's a lot of things in here that kind of like remind me of other better Superman things.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, that made a little more sense to me, but I'm just like, it's just the physics of it. Picking that up, well, I mean, wouldn't the ice break? I mean, yeah, he is strong enough to lift it, but wouldn't the ice just crack before he gets? It's 5 mouths.
His super breath bounded together with his super kryptonite breath, okay? Super Kryptonian breath bounded together with his super Kryptonian DNA. Don't think about it.
His super bad breath.
Oh, super halitosis. Ouch. I wonder what color kryptonite cures halitosis for kryptonite.
Minty green.
Minty.
That's why I miss Charlie. He could have explained that whole thing. Oh,
yeah, he could have mansplained to us real good.
Like when we compared Superman 3 and 4, yes, and he mansplained to you, yes, why you were wrong.
It still didn't make sense, but I just let him have it.
You're like, I know all this background
this
stuff.
This movie needs its fans, so God bless them, honestly.
And let's be honest, wasn't a lot of podcasting with Charlie just letting Charlie have it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many episodes I just sat here and, worked on my phone. I don't know. It's just, gotta let him go. Gotta let him,
Yeah.
Gotta let him get it out. Gotta let him get the poison out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's my motto.
Oh, my.
Poor Brad Wilson, who's just this alcoholic security guard now. The real victim of this movie, I tell you.
I swear, 2 and 3, like, there's always a bully at the end who has to get their, their comeuppance at the end. Because remember, 2 in the diner, and then here, Brad gets, like, thrown out in the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
Is that part of the misogyny you were talking about, Diane? It's just like telling Lana, you ain't gonna find no better. Ain't nobody here for you.
No, I was
telling you. Small town syndrome, though, is my personal take on that.
Like, what really got me was stuff like just the way that Webster talked down to Lorelai and his sister. There was the one scene where Lorelai's laying on the couch and she's reading a book, a very esoteric book in a perfectly normal voice, and then he comes in and she's like, I mean, and that ridiculous dress that she was wearing when you first see her with the cherries, like, doing, doing, doing. Exactly.
Yeah, UK sensibilities is what I blame that on.
I mean, I get it. I mean, you get a lot of that, unfortunately in that time. But I don't know. I read it as Webster just talks down to everybody.
But especially
that's valid.
The man never wore a pair of socks twice in his life.
Shout out to all my sneakerheads who know that's how you do it. It's wasteful, but like if you really care about your shoes, like your expensive gym shoes, you really actually can.
Oh God.
If you know, you know. At least that's what one of my himbos told me. I don't know. Chat, let me know if that's true in the comments.
Half of them think Hulk.
Or he just didn't like doing laundry. I'm not sure.
Oh. Half of them think Hulk can beat Superman. So what do you?
Oof. Well, Hulk never wears socks, so it's fine.
Oh my lord! But that at the end with the whole computer thing, and I love the Atari graphics as they're shooting missiles at Superman and everything. But the scariest thing, even as like a kid, because I was a kid back then, it's just like the sister getting pulled into the machine and like, just
turned into the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How Stepford of them.
Yeah, I was like 5 at the time this movie came out. That was scary.
No, what was scary for me was his nervous breakdown and splitting into 2 people. And I was like, is this what a split personality? Oh, no.
I know. And I'm like, okay, how do we explain this? Is it just because it's artificial kryptonite? I don't know. I was just, I was always waiting for him to just like, after he defeats the evil part of him, he just wake up and see, oh, there's no damage in the junkyard. It was all in his head or something, but no.
Yeah, I didn't know how they were going to reconcile the 2 halves. So,
but
What?
Also, what reconcile the two halves? Get it?
Okay.
You know. Anyway, also Gus goes to West Virginia. I was like, Gus is a. Never mind. Never mind.
No, where you going?
Not where he would go.
No, where you going, sister?
No, he's a black man. He's not going to West Virginia. I'm sorry, he's not doing it. He's gonna go out west to California. I don't know how to tell you guys.
Silicon Valley.
Exactly. Come on.
Oh, that was the story. Charlie always wanted them to bring Gus into the comics. That would have been the story.
We gotta petition somebody, even if it's just a one shot.
Lilith, one of the I think we talked to David Walker twice.
Yes.
He actively was telling David Walker, "Oh yeah, Gus Gorman needs to come back in the comic." Oh, he pitched that to everybody he could. All right. Here's my big question about the end of this thing. All right, so the Websters and Lorelai were going to prison. Why didn't Gus go to prison?
Because he's just a poor pawn
Because
in their scheme of
Superman
things.
took pity
Yeah.
on him.
But I feel
Yeah.
he did more than Lorelai did. I mean, I know
Babes, it's Richard Pryor.
I
That's
know,
probably his
I know,
contract.
because it was Star. Yeah, I know, but I'm just like, I know Webster.
Also, they might have wanted to bring him back in some capacity too.
Oh, maybe, but I'm just like, Gus was at, Webster gave him the orders, but he's actually the one punching the keys on that, trying to drown Columbia, and
Oh, what's that
Kinda
line where
weird.
he's like, "What does this computer do? Anything I tell it to. What does it do for me? I'll tell it to do anything you tell me to do." And that's how you should keep your inventions. Nobody should ever know the inner machinations of how things work. And I took that kind of to heart as a kid. I'm like, yeah, it's none of your business how this works. I know how it works.
Till it comes to life and tries to murder you.
Well, that's the chance you take. Let that be a lesson to you tech bros.
Lilith and I were talking about the evils of tech bros before you came on.
Yes, and how they just debuted that $300,000 sex bot at CES.
Oh, I saw that. I was gonna mention that.
I was like, is that Trisha Paytas cosplaying as a freaking robot? Like that looked like one of those Elon Musk situations where that's not a real robot. That's just a person pretending to be a robot. This is a fucking Roomba. They don't even walk. And you want $300,000 for that?
Well, for what some people are going to use it for, Lilith, I don't think they need it to walk.
You actually have to have like another $100,000 in mods for that, allegedly. Like, it's not a sex robot; it's a companion. I'm not paying $300 for a companion who can only talk. Be so serious.
And escort it through.
That's okay. My male sex robot will be way, way better. I'm gonna take my time. I'm not gonna rush it to market.
That reminds me of the book The Silver Medal Lover. Have you guys ever read that?
No, not familiar.
Highly recommended. Don't know if it will hold up, but highly recommended.
Is it a robot?
Yes.
Oh.
Well,
Yes,
I
as a matter
am
of
trying
fact.
to shoot for 200 books this year, so let me put that.
Well,
on
there you go.
Goodreads.
Homework for your sex bot. I mean, I guess we'll see, if our apocalyptic future will come about, because aren't they said there's like AI in this robot, so.
Allegedly, but if it has to connect to the cloud, I'm not too worried about it because American internet, at least, is terrible.
Oh my God, can you imagine that? Oh, did you get any last night?
Right in the middle of it. Oh, can't reach the server. Sorry, bud.
Did you get any
That pissed more people off than anything, actually.
Did you get any last night? Nah, the internet was out.
If you have Spectrum, shout out to all Spectrum people. I do not recommend it for you. Do it the old-fashioned way. Alone in the dark with your hand.
Wow.
I do like that Vera does attack Webster and Lorelai eventually, though. So, she got a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And see, I would have been happier if Lorelai had become evil and had attacked the Websters, because I kind of feel like she was the one who suffered more than anybody.
Yeah.
Or he would have let them both go, and Gus and Lorelai ran off together.
There you go.
And she crushed him to death later, yeah.
Whoa! Whoa! What a way to go.
With her thighs.
You know what drives me? One of the things that drives me insane about this movie is that there's everybody talks like about like the couple of cuts that they have for Superman 2. There's actually like 3 or 4 cuts of this movie.
Oh,
There's
really?
like the ones where they actually put all the deleted scenes back in. There's a couple that are like altered, like the TV version from like from the like early 90s. It's out there floating around.
Do you know what deleted scenes are?
It's just a couple of them. It's like that Frank Oz surgeon cameo, and then there's like one with like a state police officer.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like deserved to be deleted. To be fair, didn't add anything to it, but and I mean the runtime on this thing is 125 minutes, so
Yeah.
It seems. Thankfully, it seems short to me.
Yeah. There's a lot of movies this era. They weren't lingering on stuff.
Even though I think 2 is pretty much the same length. If I'm not mistaken.
You think 2 seems slower than this?
But like in a good way, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's the whole, I
think this was edited for like short attention. It's giving TikTok edit. Just a little bit, like it's just so zany, and they're like really trying to hold your attention. It's just really noticeable to me, at least.
Well, this one and probably 4 are more like popcorn movies where it's like.
4 is not a popcorn movie. It's I'm gonna go to the bathroom and not come back unless you're invested. Like I've done that to a date before. I'm like, I'm not watching this garbage.
Wow.
Like I had really bad diarrhea. Sorry, bro. I gotta go. It's
Oh.
all the butter on the popcorn. I can't. I won't say what movie it was because I'm not gonna disrespect someone's art. But let's just say it was one of those damn Predator movies.
Oh, wow.
Lilith, you almost had me convinced that I was gonna watch Superman 4. I have since decided that I won't get.
Well, if you don't do edibles or any kind of THC products, I wouldn't really recommend it. It's for diehard fans.
Good
truly,
to know.
Truly.
Good to know.
I mean,
it is better than this movie in my opinion, though. And like Christopher Reeves just seems so happy and so much lighter in that movie comparatively, even to like maybe 2, I would even say. So I don't know.
What in 4?
I think it's for diehard fans. I think this one is not for fans. I think this is for people who have never heard of Superman. It feels like almost. Don't you think?
I mean, I agree with you. I think 4 is better than this one.
It's not saying much, but.
Yeah, but
it's like saying, Fantastic Four. The second one, the second one is better than Fantastic Foreskin. Like,
well, that's
true, but like, at what cost? You know?
I mean, at least with 4, Gene Hackman's back.
Yeah, like I said, on the Patreon, it's like a return of old friends.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel the camaraderie. Like, I even felt that way before I knew like all the drama about 3. Like 3 has just always felt very off in the quadrilogy. I don't even think it should be a quadrilogy. I think it should be a duology. Personally, they didn't need 2 extra movies in this thing.
Well, again, 3 is so weird too because it's like half the regular cast. We barely get Margot Kidder.
We don't have the director that set the tones. Yes.
There's no Gene Hackman.
The music is shit. Let's be real. The score, the no offense. Like it just doesn't feel that much of a Superman movie to me. It just doesn't. All the classic elements are gone, kind of thrown out the window. They threw the baby out with the bathwater on this one for sure.
You know what else I think Charlie liked? Superman hanging out in a bar.
Relatable content for me.
The stupid peanuts.
Yeah, that is one of the classic things, and they do those callbacks in a lot of like the later like Superman mythology overall. Supergirl did it. The TV show with Melissa Benoist, not that terrible movie that eventually we will watch, Phil. Well, I mean, they got Woman of Tomorrow, so kind of have to.
Oh yeah, that's coming. Yeah, what but that's not this.
2026.
Next year, yeah.
Yeah. Which I hope they do. But I mean, anything is probably better than that original Supergirl movie. No tea, no shade to Helen Slater.
I haven't watched that in the longest time. I mean, that thing was buried for how many?
I mean, it literally didn't come back out until they did DC Infinite.
Yeah.
That's when they like dug out all the archives and stuff. And it's still not really readily accessible, but you can find it.
I think it's on
not a non-pirated site. It's
on Max, I think, at this point.
Is it?
I think. I thought I saw it when I was
looking
looking
at this one. Their search function is terrible. So I don't know. If it's not right on the main screen, I'm not scrolling for it.
Why to be on the main screen? You type in Super, and I think it came up with all the Superman movies.
That's
It's
how
not on
I
the main
watch
screen. I'm
this
not
one.
digging for it.
But yeah, have you seen the Supergirl movie, Diane?
No, I have not.
I literally don't know anybody who's ever seen that movie. Like, I felt like it was a fever dream. If
Wait a
I didn't
minute.
have actual merch from when I was a kid from this movie, I wouldn't think that it actually existed for the longest.
Maybe I did. Helen Slater.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I did. Oh my
it's
God.
magic based. Basically, it's magic based. It's really crazy. Like, I literally thought this was a fever dream for the longest time when I was a kid. I was like, I think I made this movie up.
Yeah, I barely remember it. I remember her. But
Yeah, I honestly don't think I've watched it since the '80s.
yeah, I haven't either. I
think
watched it once, I'm sure.
I think we rented it from the whatever video place.
Hollywood Video.
No, it might have even been like, I don't know if where you guys live, but like around here, some of the actual grocery stores would put like little video stores like in there.
Yeah. Some of ours would too.
Blockbuster or Hollywood Video? Hollywood Video, because we all know about the secret room in the back. You're not fooling anybody with the curtain.
Oh my God.
Oh, as a teenager, I had a buddy who worked at Hollywood Video. It was like right next to the McDonald's I worked at. So like any good movies came in, he like held them, and then like we'd have watch parties like on the weekends and stuff.
Oh, simpler days, man. I miss it. I do.
Mhm.
Any good movies?
No, nothing pornographic, but no, just the new releases come out and be like, yeah, we want to watch this, yeah.
I miss Blockbuster. I really wish it would make a comeback.
Wasn't that last one still open in Alaska or no?
No, it's been Oregon.
Oh,
That's where it
Oregon.
is. I want to go before it closes, but like, it's Oregon. It's the Pacific Northwest. Oh.
It's blue.
Probably more peaceful where you're living.
If you didn't know anything about Oregon, I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't know. They got a lot going on over there. I don't, if it's not a dog or like even a cat sometimes, I don't want to deal with it. So like moose and all that shit, I do not want to deal with it. It's the only reason why I don't move to Alaska. I'm not terrified of moose. I just respect moose too much to live in the same state. So that kind of rules out Minnesota.
And with your driving record.
I
know, you were always the passenger, I know, of course. It's the coincidence. You've been in a lot of accidents as the passenger.
They literally come up out of nowhere, moose. I swear to God.
They're like magical,
and they
yeah.
just materialize. They do, I swear.
They have the power of teleportation. I'm convinced.
Yes.
Oh, I get it. We have deer here, and I can't imagine a moose.
Same thing, yeah.
I mean, it'll literally, like, those things are huge.
Yeah.
Oh, I was driving home.
I heard something crazy about Alaska. Can you tell me if this is true?
I'll do my
You
best.
guys can. You get a call from moose, like a roadkill moose. You can get put on a list for it.
Yes, you can.
Oh my.
Yeah. And you go and you.
I mean,
you
that's a lot of
salvage
meat,
what-
and I'm glad it's not
Yeah,
going to
you
waste. But like,
salvage
I was
what
like, you
needs
get put on a
salvaged.
list? That's crazy.
Yeah. God, did I help salvage a roadkill moose? I'm pretty sure I did, like way back in my dog musher days.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, I've heard of people here hitting a deer or something and picking it up themselves, but yeah, not a list.
I mean, you ain't
Yeah,
moving a
no.
moose by yourself, so.
No,
Alaska has a
no.
list.
No vegetarians in Alaska.
Not many.
Well, you'll starve. So, like, I love, like, it's like, so I kind of hate the end of this movie because he's just like flying off into space, and you're just like, what?
Well, they did that in all four of them. It's just like,
It's just like, no, stay. Why are you always leaving?
it was like the thing. Got to wink at the camera, and
I know. That's one of those things I just don't. It's like, no, that's not like hopeful. Like him staying and like doing something. I don't like Superman leaving the planet.
Tell me, speaking of getting toward the end of the movie, does Lana think that he proposed to her?
I don't think. I think Lois almost thought that, but
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a mess, bro.
oh, Superman wanted you to have this ring. It's like, okay.
This huge honking diamond
You heard you
to
had to pawn
replace your crappy little diamond that you had to pawn.
You see Lois? Oh, wait, you got that ring from Superman. It's like, oh, all the crap I went through in the second movie. I didn't get no diamond ring.
Exactly. I mean, like, honestly, though, it seems like they're kind of together, and, like, Lois comes back, and it's like, oh.
That
awkward.
was... Yeah.
Didn't you kiss me at the end of the last movie to wipe my memory? Now you're with her? What the?
Yeah.
That, I don't know.
Can we
that's
talk
just,
about Richard Pryor getting freaking $5 million for this movie? I think he was the highest paid person on it.
oh, did he get more than Christopher Reeve?
Honest to God, I think so. Like, per
That's
movie, I think, like,
awful.
as a, like, overall deal, no, but I think maybe, like, when you, like, average it out, maybe.
I mean, over
He went on to do like 4 other movies with Warner Brothers too, so he got like a 5-picture deal totaling like $40 million for all of them with
Wow.
Columbia. So it was like Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, The Toy, which makes me incredibly uncomfortable these days. Oh, some of Richard Pryor movies are just like, oh, they do not age well.
do you think? That Payday's just telling me. Do you think Richard Pryor was just added to this movie to get extra interest
Well,
in
he'd
it?
gone on the Tonight Show and said he wanted to be in a Superman movie, and the Salkins saw that and they're like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Again, I guess at that point, at that time, it couldn't hurt.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, they signed into a 5-year deal worth $40 million. So, I kind of hate Pinewood Studios in London for Superman a lot. Like, it's just like I said, it's just something about the UK sensibilities that just pisses me off about it. And then
Did
they
do all
some,
4 of them?
Not all 4 of them, but a good chunk of it. And then a little bit is in like Canada, I think, if I remember right, Calgary or whatever. And then we have some in like Utah too. Obviously Grand Canyon, but just like, I don't know, it's just the filmography just felt really off to me. Like, it's just something about this movie, just like visually, everything just pisses me off about this movie.
Well, like I'll have to rewatch the first 2. I don't know if you can see it as well, but
like I said, that's the only way I can really watch this one. And like sometimes if I'm in a really bad mood afterwards, I will watch 4 to get the bad taste out of my mouth. But I just feel like you can't watch this solo. Like you can't watch it in a void or a vacuum. Like I feel like you just owe it to the other 2 movies that are better.
I'm trying to remember. Can you see this green screen in 1 and 2? Because I can see it in this movie. And the fake
a little
missiles
bit in 2, not in 1.
And the fake missiles popping out of the ground.
Well, the Atari Graphics, literally, that's the company that did it.
1983.
That is really funny. Yeah, it looks like a bad video game or a Cybertruck.
I'm like, Minecraft in real life, get him.
Yes.
That's the new red flag. If he drives a Cybertruck,
yes,
leave him alone.
I love it. I've seen a few things on Facebook. It's like, oh, now you know who all the douchebags are in your town if they got a Cybertruck.
yes.
Or if you
honestly, I'm surprised that I don't see more Cybertruck.
I was seeing a bunch. I haven't seen any lately, but
I mean, you're kind of Musk territory now, Phil. Sorry.
I know. Well, I was seeing them a lot more before the election. Now I haven't been seeing unless they parked them for the winter or something.
Realizing like, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even see them up here.
Or the other thing I saw, if you paint them just right, they look like a kid's Pinewood Derby car.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I have a little surge of rage when I see them. I can't control it.
Ah, you spend your money poorly, I see.
Now I know who to rob.
Oh! Why do I feel like this episode is going to be People's Exhibit A?
I think our last several years of podcasting is going to be People's Exhibit A.
I know. Oh, well, Lilith, did you tell Dianne you're thinking about running for office in Florida since they've banned your pornography?
I told her that they banned pornography, but I didn't tell her. Look, it almost made me want to become a politician. This close.
I said there's too many skeletons in her closet, though. I'm all
No,
the
there's
drops,
not.
all the episodes. What?
I mean, in my backyard, maybe, but definitely not my closet.
Don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. That's true for guns and penises.
Practical life advice. That's what I give.
Well, the last few years have proven anything. Anyone can run for office. It don't matter.
I mean, if Marjorie Taylor Greene can be freaking a politician.
Lil, should I say it?
Lord.
Or that whore, Lauren Boebert.
Nobody's sticking up for Lauren Boebert, so you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
we
so
go.
I'm just going to be so real with you. I will give this movie a D as in dog shit minus.
Whoa! All
This
right.
is not enough.
Yeah, I think I'd have to give it like 2 out of 10 Dark Superman.
Oh, that's an F, isn't it?
That you're going to summer school.
I think they're putting you in the special classes if you get 2 out of 10. I hate to say it, but you two are probably all right.
You can be the nice one, and also you have to tell us what the puppet gives it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, God, maybe a C. I mean, I'm nicer. Maybe a C minus.
You're very nice.
That's a generous C minus. Yeah.
It's a gentleman. See,
It just, first time we call that. All right, Charlie, what did you give this movie? An A plus, A plus plus plus.
Gus Gorman for president.
That's right.
Gus Gorman forever.
America live. He has no convictions. Gus Gorman for president. Ah.
No conviction.
That's what I said. Why
Make
does
sure
it
you
work?
get on that Trump coin, by the way, too, guys. I'm going to give you some financial advice in a very sarcastic manner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't be Hawk 2-ing us.
I woke up this morning and I'm like, what do you mean there's a Trump coin? I kind of love meme coins, not going to lie. It's fun until it's not.
Lilith was giving sarcastic. She was being sarcastic. Don't take financial advice on.
Yeah, babes, I spend all my money on video games, porn, and comic books.
Comic books, yes.
Don't take financial advice from me.
I was gonna say, don't get us canceled like Hawk 2.
Gotta give him that fuck to it.
Well, she's gonna be Hawk 2-ing somebody in jail.
Whoa!
And just like that, she was gone.
That's gosh, yeah. You haven't seen her in 2025 now.
Well, yeah, no, like everybody turned on her, as they should have. Moral of the story, kids: stay the hell out of podcasting.
Spit all that night.
Oh, so thank you so much for joining
Yes,
us. I wish it was a better movie, but like I said, I can see the good in it. It's just too little of it for me to actually enjoy it.
I mean, I hate to torture people, but I think we have more fun when it's a bad movie.
I think there's some truth to that.
Well, if that's the case, then I mean, like I said, 4 is not like winning any awards, and it's slightly better. But I think it's a movie kind of bad, but in a good way that you can enjoy and poke fun at, and kind of see where they were coming from when you kind of look at the background and context of it. Also, a little too close to home now. Not gonna lie, like there's.
I think I'm gonna have to watch the Chris Reeves documentary.
Please do.
First.
Yeah.
Please do.
I mean, 4, Gene Hackman's back. John Cryer plays his nephew.
Yeah.
Mariel Hemingway, yes.
Wow.
And then I also, like, since we're talking about it, since it's a Superman movie, I do want to encourage you guys, if you can, I know, like, the economy's bad, but if you could donate to the Christopher and Diana Reeve Foundation for paralysis and quadriplegic, please do.
Yes.
Obviously. So, yeah. I do every year, so.
Yes, they, again, like I said, that documentary, they get in, there was an accident, they get about setting up the
And guess where it's
foundation.
headquartered?
Where?
The Hive of Scum and Villainy, New Jersey itself.
Oh, really?
Yes. I've been to the headquarters. It's actually a pretty nice place.
The greatest city in the world!
That was kind of funny too when I realized. I was like, wait a minute, this is perfect.
Exactly. All right.
I wish Tyler could have joined us. I know he would probably been a little more positive maybe about it, but
Oh yeah, he loves all things Superman, so yeah, I'm sure he would have been more positive about this.
well, this is the year of Superman, so I'm sure he'll be able to join us for some other stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, if nothing else, that new Superman movie comes out this summer.
I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm glad to see the return of the Trunks.
You seemed a little down before, but yeah, okay, getting to you, huh?
I mean, half a dozen, 6 of the other. I just don't trust Warner Brothers with Superman. It's just my hesitation is all.
Dianne,
But it's got crypto, so I can't. I have to give it a chance.
Yeah. Dianne, did you see in the trailer anything? I mean, they were playing that commercial on TV, I swear, all
non-stop,
No.
bro.
So
Seriously, you guys, the only time I watch TV is when I'm with the husband or if I'm doing something like this. It's the only time I watch television.
There's nothing on, so I don't blame.
I mean, yeah, you should watch the trailer. I mean, it looks like it's going to be lighter. It's not, Snyder crap or.
Thank you, God.
But it's got a doggy in it. You can't be mad.
Yes, Superman's got a dog.
Super relatable. I feel like it's a very good move.
Oh,
So did Daryl Dixon, but I'm still not sold on the Daryl Dixon spinoff. So
oh wow! I was watching.
I've never been sold on Walking Dead as a TV show franchise. Anyway, the comic is superior.
Oh, I was so sold on the first series for probably 7 or 8 seasons, and then I just got ruined.
That you got smacked in the face with Fear of the Walking Dead.
Right.
Talk about that whole franchise is The Walking Dead.
Yes.
All right, are we getting out of here?
Yeah. If you guys have seen Superman 3, let us know your thoughts. Were we too generous, or are we totally off our kilter? Is this your favorite Superman movie? Are you a Charlie Esser? Is this your favorite Superman movie?
Are you an Esser?
I miss Charlie. I bet you guys do too.
Oh yeah.
We have a puppet, of course we miss him. Got a case of the Rob Southgates on that one.
Anytime any Marvel thing comes out, I'm like, man, I miss Charlie.
Tell me the story of the puppet real quick before we go. Where'd you get the puppet?
Lilith got this puppet.
I was scrolling, it was like a joke because Rob has a puppet of his deceased friend Chris, who was the owner of the Blue Box. And we were like, you know what? We need a Charlie puppet so that Charlie can live in immortality. And I was just scrolling through and I saw this puppet and it's like, so it's like a joke. Like one time, like Charlie just showed up with like his hair combed and he has glasses. Like, we were dressing up for us because Rob was on, and this puppet just kind of made me think of that particular episode. And so ordered it, sent it to Phil, and now that's how we have the Charlie puppet.
Like I said, if one man would have wanted to be immortalized this way, it would have been Charlie.
Absolutely. Like the bald one didn't look so good, and I was like, well, I think my favorite Charlie is Charlie with hair, honestly. Although I think most people know him like when he was bald. My favorite Charlie is Charlie with hair. So.
All that matters is the glorious mustache.
The mustache.
All right, so yeah, I feel like we got to do full stream ahead whenever we do stuff with Diana Marnell. Okay.
Okay, done deal.
Be our new show. All right. So send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Check out the new website, CapesLunatics.wordpress.com. All our episodes.
Phil's secret website he's been hiding from us all.
I basically started it when I started podcasting. So yeah, pretty much everything's up there. So
wow.
All the episodes. So and of course, support us by merch at either T Public or Spring. And again, deadlier than any supervillain, Lilith Hellfire demands that you rain random money on us through the cat.
It's a gentle suggestion.
The baseball bat. And of course, the Patreon, where Lilith and I give you something completely uncensored, exclusive every month. And if you subscribe to the Patreon, you can ask us. You can send in topics for us to discuss. Doesn't have to be comics. Could be anything. We've done everything. Was that last February we reviewed that the AVNs?
Yes, I do believe so. Would you like to make that a tradition, good sir?
I don't care. You're
We'll
the
come
one.
with more visual aids this time for sure. I just want to let you guys know I did finish my whole bottle of red wine. So yay for me. No waste here.
Oh, wow.
Very
Shout out to
good.
Costco.
Wow. Marnell would be proud. Oh, that's what we need. Next time we need Marnell here and see who can get through the wine the fastest. Lilith or Marnell.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
When
How
the
are
devil
we
can't reach you, he shoots you a short woman with a glass of wine.
You got to be on camera. You both got to be on
Okay,
camera.
absolutely. You got it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are we gonna clock that, man?
The burp, whoever burps first.
All right, so subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. All right, Diane, do you want to tell everyone about the Real Housewives of Alaska?
Hey, someday the Real Housewives will be back. Like someday soon. Just one half of the housewives like moved and had to restructure her life a little bit. So, you know, it's always something. Always something. But I think we're going to be doing V for Vendetta.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Remember the 5th of November.
I know, you guys. I think I need to read the graphic novel again
Yes.
before I
Yeah.
podcast, because the movie wasn't that great. Just spoiler alert.
It has a very visceral feeling, but the actual movie itself is a kind of a slog. I will give it
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the graphic novel is better.
Way better.
Yeah.
And
I remember it from way back in the day.
so stay tuned right here, kids, for that Real Housewives of Alaska episode.
Yes.
Marnell.
Can't
And catch
totally
me.
blame her.
Nah, I know. Catch me, catch Lilith, catch Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network, all on Blue Sky now. So we're all in there. Again, like Lilith was saying this morning, it has like a more classic like Twitter vibe. It's not crazy over there yet. So
Oh shit! I gotta download TikTok in a minute.
What?
To make sure. I've been off of TikTok because I've been on another platform called Clapper for a while, just trying to see what that's about as an alternative. Because I am not joining that other Chinese app, that Red Note thing. Like
yeah.
y'all crazy with that one, but yeah. So I gotta download it before because you know they allegedly might be banning it. They might just pull it from the whole app store
Well, yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
tomorrow.
I heard-
So like it's like literally at midnight.
Well, I heard even if you have it, eventually, isn't it just gonna be, you know?
It just won't work, right?
Yeah. clear out or
I
whatever?
have to get on my VPN and download it from the Canadian App Store.
Oh,
like,
eh.
I've been meaning to, but like literally the literal last minute.
All right, kids. So if you want to be like Little Hellfire, get off TikTok and get the clap. All right. All right. Thank you for joining us. And we'll have to do it again.
Oh, you gotta get that Sailor song, that Yo-Ho song for copyright free. Like if you're on TikTok, it's like the North Sea song that goes with it. More
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm the pirate that Charlie was, or you. You're that pirate.
Well, you got to, Cap, or you'll be a skipper.
Ark. I'm the fly with.